Hey guys, welcome to our wedding day vlog. It is officially 0 days until our wedding day, and I woke up at 6:30 a.m. at my parents' house, got my slippers ready, and by the time I was ready to head out, it was 7 a.m. The car was waiting for us outside. I just made sure to bring all the stuff that I had with me, so I made sure not to forget a single thing, and even with that, I still managed to forget something, which sent me on a downward spiral, but thankfully I was able to get it all together in time. Started the day with a mini heart attack because I could not find my veil, but I found it and we're leaving now. Car's waiting to take us to the hotel, so let's go. The hair and makeup crew told me to be there by 8 a.m. so the first two people would get their hair and makeup done at that time. So that's why we had to leave the house by 7 a.m. And since it was a Monday, I was kind of scared we might hit traffic, but we didn't. So we made it to the venue around 7:40 with time to spare. And it kind of sucked because the room, it was a whole hassle to get the actual boardroom. The dude on the front desk was not understanding what we needed, but we made it to the venue and we went to our board conference room that we had reserved. And it was so cool because it was very secluded. It was pretty spacious, way bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I also ordered us a couple of snacks, pastries, as well as drinks like coffee and tea, and you best believe we made the most of it as we all started to get ready. I switched into a more bridal attire around 8:30 a.m. and that's when my mom and my sister started getting ready. They did my sister's makeup first and then my mom's hair. I loved my sister's makeup, and in the meantime, I didn't have much to do, so I walked around the venue and I saw the reception they were setting up for us, so it was super exciting. And then I went back up and my sister's makeup was done, so it was time for her to get her hair done, and then my mom to switch and do, yeah, she's surprised because she found her AirPods. My mom got her hair done, so now it's time for her to do her makeup. And a little after, around 10:30 a.m., my other bridesmaid Ivana and Estefania, my maid of honor, arrived. We started having some mimosas, and then my room was actually ready around 11:30 or 12, so I decided to go check in. I left my bags and I wanted to give you guys a little room tour. Before my room tour, they did my hair, and then I went back to do my makeup after I checked in, and by 12:30 p.m. I was basically done. I got a few tears in when I looked at myself for the first time, so I had a little bit of a bawling session, but I went back to my mimosas. We also took a couple pictures walking around Old San Juan, which was kind of fun because we were waiting for our DoorDash to be delivered because we were going to have some lunch, and I ran into my mother-in-law, and we took this funny picture because my husband and his groomsmen were getting ready in that blue Airbnb, so I was trying to hide from them. And then I came back, had lunch with my girls. We were trying to stay hydrated as much as we could in between mimosas, and then it was time to meet up with the photographer. We went to the room at around 2:30 p.m. They started taking pictures of my shoes with the dress and everything, and this is where time flew by because all of a sudden I was getting ready. I did some pictures with my bridesmaids, I did my first look with my dad, and then all of a sudden I was walking down the aisle. I'm not going to show the whole ceremony, but it was honestly awesome. I walked down the aisle with my dad and my mom. We kind of got some blunders because we got our dresses stuck together. It was amazing seeing my husband's reaction. Obviously, we shared our vows, our rings as well, and then we had our first kiss, and then we walked down back the aisle. And after that, we took a lot of pictures with our groomsmen, with our bridesmaids, with our family members, which I will soon be posting on my Instagram if you want to check that out eventually when I get them. And we also then were whisked away around Old San Juan to take some cute pictures around the city. And then we were whisked away to our private room where we had all the snacks that they had at the cocktail hour that we didn't have a chance to eat while the DJ was setting up and everybody was walking into the ceremony. And then we had our first dance as husband and wife. Then I had my first dance with my dad. Then he had his first dance with his mom. There were a lot of tear-jerking moments, so I'm only sharing a couple snippets of it. And of course, throughout the night, I honestly didn't record a lot. We were able to eat after these first dances, which was really nice. And then we were able to enjoy the mariachis that came in. I am part Mexican from my grandfather's side, so he was very pumped to see them, and he was doing that Mexican yell with his tequila shot, so we were living it up. We were honestly even danced a couple of songs together. And there was a really sad song that was dedicated dedicated to me, and they also replaced my name in a specific song. So I was crying a lot during the mariachi part and having fun as well, dancing with my grandfather. But afterwards, the open bar flowed, and honestly, I don't remember. We also had pleneros come in. We were on the dance floor a lot and dancing and eating at the same time. So we honestly had a blast and spent a lot of time taking tequila shots at the bar towards the end of the night. But then we just went back to our room around 1:30 a.m. if I'm not mistaken, and the next day we woke up at 10 a.m. at the same place. I said goodbye to a couple of friends that were here. We made sure to pack all of our things and head out. We checked out of our room around 11:30 a.m. I made sure to take my cake with me and freeze it, so I was super excited to eat it afterwards. And we walked around Old San Juan and met up with some family members. We got some well-deserved coffee, even though Ruben was still dying because he didn't want to drink his coffee. We had some breakfast, walked around Old San Juan a little bit more. It was very weird going back to our venue and seeing how empty it all was. And I think every time now that I walk past it, I'm always going to get super emotional. After we checked out, we just went back home around 1 p.m. and it was so nice to be back home, relaxed with our two dogs. We also made sure to open some letters and gifts that we had received, and I wanted to show you guys that in the end of the night, my husband stepped on my train, and I had these two clips at the back of my dress so that way it could hold my whole train while I danced. So one of them completely broke, so that is why you're gonna see right now in a couple of seconds this bruise that I had. The first one is because of my dog. He was too excited to see me when I went to pick him up, but the other one was the strap of my dress that was holding on for dear life. And that's a wrap on our wedding planning series, our wedding weekend. It has been such an amazing weekend. As you saw, we started off Friday. It is currently Wednesday. We just dropped off the last couple of people at the airport and I am exhausted. I really need to get some sleep in, but it was better than I could have ever imagined. I just want to do a quick recap. I really don't remember anymore what I have vlogged, so when I edit it we shall see. But I did want to say, obviously the planning was very stressful. We had not disagreements, but we just had a couple of experiences with the wedding coordinator. I have a humongous tip: just make sure that you really mesh with your coordinator and that they're listening to you while you're planning, because that was one of my biggest issues. There were very trivial things that we were not in agreement with, and it was like either their way or the highway, and it like felt like it was their wedding and they were not listening to what I wanted. So it sucked. They added more stress to me than anything, especially when we were moving the wedding back in December. They're like just so rude. I did not like my wedding planner experience at all throughout the planning, but definitely the day of the wedding, it was amazing because they're helpers. So the two ushers literally stole the show. If it wasn't for them, honestly, I feel like I would have had the worst wedding planning experience of my life because of the wedding planner. But they were amazing. They were here with us the whole step of the way, always fixing my dress, getting me tissues, getting my family tissues when they were crying when I did the first look with my dad. They held my room key. They brought the stuff to our room, like the gifts. They brought up our wedding cake, my husband's suit, because he left like the jacket portion of it somewhere. They were just so attentive and they were amazing, as well as the actual venue. I freaking love the food and beverage coordinator there. They were there that night and came to visit me, making sure everything was okay, and was always really attentive as well with the emails. They would reply to me in literally hours if it wasn't the weekend. So I also loved every single help we had from the hotel. The front desk, ironically, was somebody that I worked with in front desk at a different hotel. So she was amazing as well, checking me in. And the next day when we checked out, she gave us a couple of free things as well. So that was amazing. So overall, yes, like I said, the planning was very stressful. For a really good portion of the time, for a moment, I was doubting our decision to get married. I was like, did we make the decision? Did we make the correct decision? Should we have eloped? Should we have bought a house instead? For a moment, I was like, this is too stressful, and I don't really know if at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy that this all happened. But I can now honestly say at the end of the road that I would do this in a heartbeat again. I've always dreamt, as I've said as a kid, of how my wedding day would go, and I swear I'm trying not to cry because I'm very emotional, but it was way better than I could have ever expected. Everything from the whole weekend. Okay, here we go. Everything from like the weekend, and I'm just so grateful for all of our family and friends that stuck by us through all the changes, and just making sure that the whole weekend and that the night was great. So I'm just gonna stop talking before I keep crying. But I hope you guys enjoyed coming along through this experience, and if you have any questions about wedding planning, weddings in Puerto Rico, or anything that I can help you out with, make sure to comment down below. I'm so sorry for that little moment of emotions, but thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.